Welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. So far, we have Legacy, Corey, and Proxy in here, as well as everyone else who may just be watching, not chatting. Glad to have you here as well. This should be a very brief hour stream or so, as we're just going to talk about the upcoming severe weather potential, and we'll probably mention the tornado warning a couple times here. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I guess we'll just go to our tornado warning scene, I suppose. Make sure that's all up to date too. That is the severe one. We are still at a severe, but let's go to the tornado warning one here. So yeah, we have a current tornado warning. I'm going to just look at this really quick. I haven't looked at it in a whole 5 minutes, so let me just see if it's doing anything else. It doesn't look impressive, except for hail. So that's just another one of those big hailstorms in Texas. So yeah, main focus today is going to be talking about the potential for the severe weather threat over the next few days. So we've got today's outlook here with a slight risk and a marginal. We did actually get a downgrade from a 5% slight risk for tornadoes to a 2% marginal out here. So we only have a marginal risk level 1 out there in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. Then we have another level 2 threat back out here towards Texas, and a level 2 up there in Colorado, New Mexico, into Oklahoma, Texas, and not into Kansas in terms of that watch, but the slight risk does actually extend into Kansas. So Connor is up there chasing that, so if he sees anything interesting, maybe I'll remember to pull up his feed. Matter of fact, I should probably go see if he has anything, because I have not pulled up his live stream in a little while. Last time I checked, he was getting gas, and he's still getting gas. Okay, actually, I don't know what he's doing now. Welcome, Nicholas Week. Glad to see you in here. So that's today's outlook. We have a, I'm surprised. The one place that has ended up with tornadoes today is the area that doesn't have a 2%. We've got a 2% up here, 2% up here, 2% over here, and where we have a warning, there is not a 2% for tornadoes. So we actually did have a tornado earlier today. I think it was up here somewhere in Nebraska. So we've already had 2 tornadoes today, one in Nebraska, and then this one in Texas did produce a tornado and a radar hole, a very weak, very brief tornado. And wind threat should be the main issue today. We've got a 15% up in Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, New Mexico, parts of Texas as well. And then hail will be another threat today. You've got an additional slight risk, 15% out there in southwestern Texas, up to Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas as well, Oklahoma, and barely into Nebraska. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then tomorrow we've got a bit of a larger risk. Tornado threat is still a 2%. how much you want to bet if they keep the 2% here and here, we're going to end up with a tornado warning somewhere in the middle. That's normally how it goes. But anyways, we do have a 2% chance for tornadoes up here in Wyoming, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and another 2% back down here in Texas. Then we have our wind threat should be the biggest issue with a large 15% chance out there for damaging winds. And we also have our hail threat out there at 2 hatched areas, 15 sig up in Colorado and a 15 sig down here in Texas. Now, we did also just get a destructive severe out here for 3-inch hail. This has actually been destructive for a while. I just want to note that the tornado warning was dropped, but it is destructive for very large hail, so keep that in mind. And then day 3's risk. This should be our main day for severe weather. It seems like the potential for a strong tornado may be on the table for, what is this, Sunday? Dang, Sunday. Well, I could track that. That's the good news, but I hate that it's on a Sunday. So, yeah, we'll have an all hazards threat. The highest tornado threat definitely looks to be, honestly, in eastern, southeastern Nebraska, right out in this quadrant here. Gracious day, not that, just right out in here looks to be the highest tornado threat. That's just based off the 3 models that I've seen so far. It's a bit of uncertainty on how strong that trough will end up being, which it shouldn't be that strong at all. It's going to be more of an embedded shortwave, but it's going to allow for a stronger lower level jet stream. And our biggest limiting factor will probably be the mid-layer jet stream. So we'll see about that the closer we get. But that's what I'm looking at. Day 3 is probably going to have the highest potential. Right now, they've got a broad 15%. So no hatched areas just yet. All hazards on the table. I don't know if they mentioned too much of a tornado threat, but I can tell you it is definitely going to be present. Matter of fact, they don't really mention any of a threat for any severe weather, but we definitely know it's there. Okay, there you go. Large hail damaging gust. That's the southern high plains, though, so that's probably like more into Kansas and Nebraska. Minnesota's definitely going to have a risk for severe weather. Storms should be dying off by the time they get to Minnesota. The area that's most likely to see severe weather is probably southwestern Minnesota. So the closer you are to like the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, probably the more severe weather you'll see. But yeah, if you're in pretty much all of Minnesota's at risk for severe weather. I mean, the only area that's not is in the southeast quadrant. You could still see some thunderstorms out there, but severe weather is going to be possible over a very large chunk of Minnesota, especially if you're in that yellow area. That's the hot spot right now for severe weather. I can't say much about the tornado threat. That's still far out to the point where it's going to change. But yeah, I definitely believe the highest tornado threat will be Nebraska. I'd be surprised if it ends up into west central Minnesota. But those are your 3 days for outlooks of severe weather. We don't have a day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, or a day 8 just yet, so that's good news. As for today, we just managed to see another one of those storms that fired off and produced a tornado and large hail. We've seen those like almost every day for the last 3-4 days out here in Texas. So it started off as a small storm, and then I believe an outflow boundary hit it, and it just exploded. And, I mean, it's been considerable, then destructive, then dropped to tornado, so it's done all types of stuff out here. Produced 3-inch hail, tornado, 70+ mile-an-hour winds, the whole shebang out there. Just one storm, and that's been our main issue today. Now, we did just get another storm towards Clovis. I have not looked at that one at all. Yeah, we should just look away from that one. No, it is warned for 2-inch hail, 60 mile-an-hour winds, but the tornado threat's like 0 with this. Yeah, very low. That's a big hail threat, though. Then again, it is right west of Clovis, so you never know if this thing can get a good outflow boundary going, some solid cell mergers. It might just have a bit of a tornado threat. When it comes to next week's weather for Virginia. So like next Sunday or like 3 days away Sunday. I imagine you mean like next Sunday, like more than a week away. I can't tell you much about that, but what I can tell you is I'm keeping an eye on it like crazy for the potential of severe weather. Very late next week into the weekend, towards like Sunday, I'm looking for the potential of severe weather out towards that region. Nothing set in stone, but it's at least going to be a stormy weekend. Geez, I hope that's not the case. According to this, there's rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it's rained the whole time. That's thanks to an omega block. So basically, we'll have a low pressure that sets up here. And what that's going to allow for is another low pressure to set it back out eastward. And we're going to have a blocking pattern over the central U.S. So it should stay relatively on the lower side of severe weather in the central plains. But I do see a few sneaky short waves that might have some severe threat. And it's really going to allow for a very stormy week or so out there, all the way from South Dakota, Minnesota, all the way down to North Carolina, Virginia. So you'll definitely be in the risk for at least rain and some thunderstorms. But as for like severe weather, the closer we get, the more we'll know. But we'll just have to wait for that. They're not talking about any severe weather potential because it's far out, way too far out for them to mention much at all. I hope I get some chasing weather. That would be fun. Depending on the risk, we may chase with a lucky. If we end up with a enhanced risk or higher for tornadoes, then Lucky said he's going to chase with us. So if we get an enhanced risk, we'll be seeing Lucky sooner than anticipated late this month. Or not late this month, but I should say late next month. Which technically at 00Z, which this is in Zulu time UTC, we're going to start June. So that's one of the main reasons I honestly wanted to be alive today, is to see June roll around. So here on the East Coast, it's obviously midnight. Same goes for every other time zone. But for Zulu time, it's 00Z, which is 8 p.m. here, 7 o'clock Central. I believe we just got a downgrade from destructive. I'll look at that. Yeah, that's not destructive anymore. It's one for 2.5-inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. Still tour possible. So here's the GFS model that's just finished completely rolling in here. I did not look at the end portion of this. So, of course, we have our severe threat, which could be quite notable, honestly, for June 2nd. Definitely watching Kansas and Nebraska for that big tornado potential. It could be a little bit higher than anticipated. Looks like June 3rd, we might have another opportunity. Same for June 4th for the potential of severe weather. And then that should tame down drastically as we start to see that omega block build in. And kind of just looks like we have a lot of uncertainty from there on out. I mean, you can see you have your very nice blocking pattern in here. Very nice blocking pattern. That is a very strong low pressure on the East Coast there. Very, very strong low pressure on the East Coast. That would allow for a horrific early start to June. Let me look at the total precipitation. Yep. A terrible start to June out here in the eastern portion of the U.S. I don't know what the heck this model is saying for Arkansas. Apparently there's a big system that rolls through what? Oh, today. Apparently today we have a big flood threat. Let me see what the Weather Prediction Center has. A slight risk, so that's a 2 out of 4. But nothing too crazy. Temple, Texas. Let me see. Probably. It's off to your west. Yeah. I don't think that's going to hit you. It's well off to your west. You should be good. They're moving southeast, so I don't think you'll see much today. You should have had quite a strong line of damaging winds earlier this morning towards like 7 a.m. or so. That line was anticipated to be a lot later. Came in very early. Which happens a lot more than you'd think. That's why we don't trust our model runs that much. I mean, every model run we take with a grain of salt, especially with timing, because the HRRR with timing is terrible. I mean, maybe you'll get a backyard storm chase, Legacy. Just sit on your porch and watch a thunderstorm. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. But I do believe you're going to start settling down with severe weather, Legacy. You really have been for quite a while. We're starting to transition into more of the summer severe weather, which typically that's East Coast severe weather season. I don't know how active that is for like the Central Plains, but normally we start out here in Virginia and North Carolina for severe weather. 3:30, wow. That's a little bit early. That is quite early for severe weather. Let me see if my radar says that too. Yeah, it was. Wow, that was probably a very powerful line. I wonder what that was warned for. Oops. Power outage. I want to see if there's a bunch of people still without power in Texas. Sure is. 128,000 from the storms yesterday, but not last night, but yesterday. Let me see how long that was severe warned. Oh, yeah, that was definitely a very strong storm for sure. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen until it's, like, already formed. Which it really started to form towards 1 a.m. is when that line really began to form to the northwest of you. And then that thing went all the way to the Texas coastline. So that thing went far. You're welcome. Again, thank you for tuning in. We're not doing too much coverage today. We're really just doing a briefing. So like I said, just about an hour. Friday's going to be our main coverage. Not Friday. Today is Friday, you idiot. Sunday is going to be our main coverage day. We'll probably be live for about 4 hours on that day. That's the plan, Sunday. But I'm trying to cut back on the streaming just a bit. You know, take a break while we're not having any ridiculous tornadoes. I hate that I missed one of them yesterday, but you can't see them all the time. You're going to miss a few. Hello, that random guy. And Clint, welcome to the stream. What time Sunday? Knowing when weather normally fires, it's probably going to be... I hope it will be 6, but it's probably going to be 3. It's probably going to be like 3 p.m. Eastern. Normally, the storms really get going towards 4 o'clock, which is why I said 3 p.m. is when we like to be live. I really hope that the weather just waits until 6 o'clock. That's like the best time for me to stream in a day is 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's the best time frame for me to stream. But no, storms want to pop off towards 2, 3 p.m. But Sunday I'll be able to stream it any time after like 1. Yeah, only reason why I'm cutting back on the coverage is because, you know, the storms aren't as widespread. Over the last, like, 4 or 5 days, we've had just random big storms in Texas, like, down in this area as well as up here. We've had just, like, 1, 2 storms that end up dropping 3, 4-inch hail. Whereas, like, towards middle of May, I mean, we were having outbreaks from Nebraska all the way down to Texas. We would be having severe storms along that entire landscape there. So, gotta take the breaks while you can get them. Hopefully that Omega block just destroys any severe weather potentials here. Typically it does, but honestly, I think it's going to allow for quite a active MCS derecho type setups out there in the Midwest towards the Mid-Atlantic. Ben, according to Zulu time, it starts in 31 minutes. Matter of fact, the National Hurricane Center has already issued their first official advisory for the hurricane season. They, of course, issue it at um, May 15th. They start issuing it, but they've officially issued a June 1st advisory. So technically, it has already started. There's different. It's completely started by midnight at Eastern. That's when it's like, well started. But I mean, you could count the first advisory, which comes out at like 7 o'clock Eastern, is technically the first real advisory because it's normally for June 1st. You could count 8 p.m. Zulu time or 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 00Z Zulu, as the first real one. You could count midnight. There's different ones you could do. When did I pull that? What? 360 frames out. What did I pull? I wonder where I pulled that at. Just a random sounding. I wonder where I got that from. Apparently I pulled a sounding. Was it the coastline? Maybe it was over here. I accidentally pulled a sounding. I just clicked to the other tab and it was like, oh, hey, sounding. But yeah. So, hold on a second. Okay. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on the severe weather potential. Here's the NAMNIST model. NAM 3K is what that's normally what you hear. And it doesn't show anything really kicking off until Sunday evening. So at about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, storms really get going out towards Iowa and Nebraska, and then western Nebraska as well. So that's when it really kicks up thunderstorms, and then you could go out even further here. And of course, NAM does NAM, and at about 2 a.m. Eastern time, just random derecho out there in the middle of Kansas. That's just typical NAM. I mean, it does that every single second it gets watched. I bet there's a quote derecho in Oklahoma one of these days. That's not really much. Oh, there's one. There you go. There you go. Just a random line at midnight tomorrow. And the HRRR doesn't even have any convection there until the next morning, and it's just rain showers. I mean, the NAM it does linear whenever it gets the chance. Look, there's another line. That wouldn't be, if that actually happened, it wouldn't be qualified as a derecho, but that would be another line. Just a random line out in Mississippi. Oh my word, that's crazy. It even tries to get these supercells here in Texas right now. It tries to form them into a line. Look at that. It tries to form them into a line, and this is an hour and a half ago. That's an hour and a half ago, and that didn't happen. Stubborn old NAM model. NAM derecho bias. Yep. That's the NAM model for you. Okay. Now here's the NAM actual model. This one's typically a little bit better than the NAMNIST. The NAMNIST is the one that likes to just throw derechos all over the place. But even this one, I mean, look at that. There's probably a derecho right there, according to this model. Probably another one trying to form there in Mississippi. Oh, there's another one in Oklahoma. Probably even one in Minnesota. Oh, there's one in Kansas. Oh, there's one in Arkansas. I mean, it just puts it everywhere. I just don't use the simulated reflectivity on the normal NAM model at all. I want to see what this has for Monday. Does it go out to Monday? It does. Well, that's fun. Talk about explosive supercell development. Hold on. Only 5,599 instability out there. Man, that is an average NAM sounding right there. I don't even know what I'm looking at with that, honestly. I don't even know what I'm looking at with that. Main limiting factor that immediately stuck out to me is the lower level wind shear not being the best. But, I mean, everything else is pretty good. Oh. Connor, don't you give me an ad now that I just switched over to you. Got a little bit of rotation up there. I have no earthly clue where this dude is. He's in some random spot. Is that 2 areas? That looks like it's anticyclonic and cyclonic. Did you see that? Look at that. I had no clue where this dude is. All I know is he's somewhere in Colorado. Wanted to show y'all that real quick. Let me go see if I can figure out where this dude is. Connor. Are you out here, maybe? I don't know where this dude is. Over here? He's near Texline, Colorado. Texline. Wait, this says... Oh, he moved into Oklahoma. Okay, that's the Panhandle. So he's in Oklahoma. Wow. Look at that. How did dude get in there? I swear he started at like Denver today. I mean, he's going to some rain showers. I guess that's just the storm that he has to go for. There's nothing else he can really chase. Okay, this stuff's dying out. That's good. All I gotta do is go live and then everything dies out. That's how it is. Which, like I said, this isn't a coverage stream. We just plan to talk about the weather for a bit. The only very interesting day is Friday. Or why do I keep saying Friday? Sunday. Sunday. Today is interesting for big hail, and that's about it. But Sunday is the most interesting day for all hazards. I do think that it's going to have a chance for maybe a local strong tornado threat there. I don't believe it's going to be anything too over the top, but I don't... Let me look at what CSU has. CSU is kind of like a rip-off of the SPC. That's what I look at it as. So CSU has a 11% tornado probability. Which I can't say I'm surprised by that. It's basically a rip-off of the SPC and is a whole lot less accurate. Well, welcome to the channel. I'm glad to see you in here. I don't have much analysis for you today because we don't have anything other than big hail happening. Hail, yeah. That's what these storms are doing right now. That's my analysis. I actually want to go look at this one because it has very high DBZ. Let's see. Yeah, this thing is really, really developed a hail spike. I would not be shocked if they warn this for much higher. It expires in 5 minutes, so, I mean, probably within the next 2 minutes we're going to see a new warning. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's much higher. So you can see this area of weird reflectivity values. It almost looks like rain outside the supercell. That's what you call a hail spike. Long story short, it just means there's a lot of hail. And when you combine that with, you know, your reflectivity, you can see this has DBZ of 70, almost 76. 75.5 dBz here. That is very high dBz. So this is producing at least 2-inch hail. You could see the radar indicated. Radar indicated. I don't know what you really call these things, but it says 4-inch hail. So that's the National Weather Service has it warned for 2-inch hail. The radar believes there's up to 4-inch hail there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing about 3-inch hail here. Typically, let me see. Yeah. So this is another product that basically just tells you how large the pixels are, or how large the rain is, how heavy the rain is, how large the hail is, and it's maxed out. So, yep. And then there's another product which shows the exact same thing. And this, I believe, is the exact same thing. Why is there 3 different products for the same thing? I don't venture into this. Ooh. Well, this one tells you how big the hail is. So, according to radar, this pixel right here is 4.35-inch hail. Don't know how much I believe that, but okay. Oh, now it's down to 3.91-inch hail. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. That's really the only one I'm interested in. This is just Ben hoping for a storm. He's outside on his porch praying for a thunderstorm. And it's just off to his northwest here. I don't think it's going to do any... it's on the alpha boundary, so it's definitely going to be a hailer. 1.5-inch hail there. Ben lives in San Antonio, which is why I said that. And then this stuff, a lot less tornadic. This one still looks like it has an opportunity to try to hook out, which it was before, but it doesn't look nearly as tornadic as before. So I don't see... Ooh, did they upgrade it? Yeah, they did. 2.5. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't go considerably higher than that. I was expecting 3, but 2.5 is better than 2 when you have this crazy indicator happening. Oh, we're right back up to 4.5. Oh, no, this is 4.05-inch hail, according to radar now. I'm sure this has a similar product that probably looks a bit better. I haven't investigated this too much. Yep, there you go. And it says 2.3-inch hail. So this is typically more accurate. A bit of a flash warning. And the only reason why is because it uses MRMS as opposed to, local radar sites. So basically think of it as a satellite radar. That's really what it is. So it's going to be more accurate as opposed to just your local radar sites. So it says that this one just rapidly strengthened on that last scan, going from 1.6-inch hail to 2.48-inch hail. We'll see what that looks like on the Austin radar site, which I honestly don't see it. They upgraded it to 2-inch hail, or maintained it. It was already 2-inch hail, and they continued it for 2. So this is another product that I've just discovered. This is your rotation products, which typically are not useful at all. The reason why I say that is because it's going to just... It really is just going to detect corruption in bad radar data and then just say, yep, it's rotating. So I do not like to use this unless there is high confidence in a tornado that has occurred over a given amount of time. I won't use this. Like if we've had a long tracked, strong or violent tornado, I'll pull out this product so that way we can see the track of it. But other than that, I find it very inaccurate. And then here's your rainfall over the last hour. And then this is your rainfall over the last 12 hours. Hey, I wonder where that MCS went this morning. I have no idea where that MCS formed. and then strengthened and tracked across freaking half of Texas over here. This was earlier this morning. Gracious day, that's a lot of rain. Oh, look, this is from yesterday, I believe. I believe that's from yesterday. Nope, this is today. I love how it says 12 hours. Oh, you guys can't see it. Right up here, it says 12 hours ago. And this warning, I bet it's for today. Yeah, May 31st. Like I said, I don't use these products at all. I do not use any of these. The only thing I use on this program is this particular radar product here. And that's it. I only use this one. Or is it this one? It's this one. I didn't even know what product I used. Or is it this one? Oh, I'm switching between them all. Wow. So you know what this is? I bet. Yep. I bet that this is actually Cumulus. That's what I think that is. Why does it switch between all the products? Stop it. Annoying thing. So I bet that is Cumulus from the thunderstorm. I swear, I must have screwed this up. Let me go back and look. Buffering, it's not on my end, but it very well could be for some of y'all. Knowing how my Wi-Fi has been over the last couple of years, I swear I've never had good Wi-Fi a day in my life. Yeah, this just looks weird. I feel like this isn't the right product. Why do I do this to my radar sites, huh? Alright, I do want to see if that is actually the Cumulus. Look at that. It is. Let me show you guys. Actually, I don't even have to pull that up because I forgot. This has its own satellite imagery. Look at this. See that? So if I take off the radar site, you'd see this big storm on satellite imagery. And then if I turn the radar back on, you can see the rain is actually inside that cumulus. So that this shouldn't be rain out here. Most of this should just be clouds. I'm very confident that this is going to be rain. Typically, to determine if it's clouds or rainfall, you have to use this type of radar site. Switch to CC. So you could tell that this is all rain here. So this is all rain, which means any precipitation over like Florence. So if we switch back to this, so all of this is clouds. But you most likely have rain ongoing up here. Very light rain here, and then it gets to very heavy rain, especially as you go over towards Marble Falls. I do want to see... That's why. Okay. I was just quickly checking something. So yeah, glad to have you guys all in here. Hopefully everybody's day's been well. It is the last day of May. Last day of May. And this has probably been in the top 5 for the most active May on record. As for, the most active May, it was probably 2011 or 2019. Or some random year, honestly. I could go check. Shoot. I didn't save this site. This is definitely going to be a top 10, though. Probably a top 5. Last time I checked, it is number 1 for the most tornadic thunderstorms. But, tornadic thunderstorms don't mean that they've actually produced tornadoes. It just means they're capable of producing tornadoes. It's also #1 for the most warnings issued, too. Any tornado today? Yep. We did. We actually had 2. We had a tornado warning over here that ended up producing a tornado, which was warned, of course. Thankfully, they got that warned before it dropped a tornado. A very brief tornado. And then we had one earlier today, way back 20 years ago. I mean, earlier today. This was actually reported from somebody I know. I know the person who reported this, not personally, though, unfortunately. But yeah, this was a random confirmed one. I was just on my computer. I had this site open because I was watching the storms in Shreveport, or not in Shreveport, but in New Orleans. Man, where'd the radar go? There you go. Yeah, I was watching these, which actually were from Alexandria down through Baton Rouge, going towards New Orleans, and then I just heard my little program go off. The half gave me a heart attack because it's just a random tornado warning. You know, in an outbreak, if there's like an outbreak of tornadoes, you're anticipating that beep for a tornado warning. But when you're over here, what was it, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, just watching some rain in Louisiana, and then you hear that beep, that made me jump. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it. If you guys know the weed whacker, which most of y'all probably do, Reed Timmer, the weed whacker is what I call him. He actually hit a deer today, and looks like he got quite the amount of damage to the front of the Dominator 3, so I'm sure they're fine, but man, that deer is probably in oblivion, because the Dominator 3 going at 60 miles per hour, hitting a deer, not really a good combination for the animal. This is GR Earth. This is GR Earth, what I'm using here. And this is Radar Omega. So I have GR Earth, which I have recently started to love. Then I have Radar Omega here. And then GR, what is this? GR2 Analysis. GR2 Analysis. Sometimes I say GR Analysis and forget the 2, and then I say GR Level 2. I confuse it all the time. So my 3 main ones, this is GR2 Analysis, Radar Omega, and GR Earth. And unfortunately, they are all paid for. So none are free. Now, if you want a free radar site, I have a tutorial on Attic Radar up on this channel. Lord have mercy how many years ago that was. It was actually 3 months ago, but I have that up, which is a free radar site. And then, of course, the one that you came from, my Radar Omega one, which... that thing, I don't know what happened to that video, but it just took off. Like 6 months after uploading it, in the matter of a week, it got 4,000-5,000 views. I was like, where are all these new subscribers coming from? I must be getting, like, view-botted or something. And then I go look at my videos, and one from 6 months ago is popping off. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That tutorial is pretty old. I need to make a new one. I didn't expect it to get an additional 8,000 views over the next 6 months. Because I uploaded it and it got like 1,000 or 2, and I was like, that is really solid. I'm glad a lot of people enjoyed that, which is why I made the Attic Radar one, because a lot of people were saying, you know, the price of it, because it's, I mean, it's hefty. Okay, I thought I saw a destructive, but yeah, I mean, it's, radar softwares are more expensive than you think. Now, Radar Omega, obviously, you could just get it on your phone for like $9, but all the additional things, it's like, okay, I paid $9, now I gotta pay $10 a month for this, okay, now 15 a month, okay, now I'm up to 20 a month, and it's like, man, I can't afford all this. You should make a dedicated video on how to read radar. You do know the Radar Omega video is that. That is the Radar Omega. All you need to know about Radar Omega and how to read radar. I went over quite a few products on that. I don't know where you are. Rochester. Texas? If Texas, definitely not. Let's see here. Read backwards is deer. I didn't even notice that. That's something. Ooh. Wow. Our La Nina is really, really coming in hot. Every time I look at this thing, it's like closer and closer, and there's more signs of it. In 4 minutes, it's not... I don't know what they consider official hurricane season, because midnight Eastern, because normally the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center, the Weather Prediction Center, and the CPC all go off of Zulu time. And in 4 minutes and 30 some seconds, I don't know, we're going to be at June 1st. I think it was 25 seconds. Yeah, we have a very favorable main development region right now in terms of no wind shear. I don't believe we have a single bit of wind shear out there. At least from what I just saw. Let me see if what I just saw was dead wrong. Upper dynamics. Yeah, no, we barely have any wind shear out there. I mean, of course there's some present, but it's going to be a lot weaker. And I don't think we'll have any systems that move in to take advantage of that. We're still like a solid... Yeah, we probably won't see much until July. I really don't think we'll see much till July. And then you had there's already been like 4 or 5 GFS Fantasyland hurricanes. Can't wait to cover Sunday's threat for severe weather. It feels like I haven't covered a solid tornado threat in a while. Even though I just covered it yesterday. I really enjoy tracking all this stuff. But I definitely got a bit tired in the middle of, May. Considering we've had 6,000 severe weather reports this month. I did get tired. I definitely did get tired. I was like, come on, just end. End already. May's been ridiculous. I don't know if it was more active than April. But both April and May were very, very active. And we said that in our tornado forecast this year, our first one ever. We said that we'd probably stay relatively inactive for the beginning, or what was it? The beginning of April. The beginning of April would probably be a little bit inactive, and then the middle would be crazy. The end would be ridiculous. Late April into all of May is what I really said. And oh boy, were we correct. I like Attic Radar personally. I have checked that out, but honestly, I haven't gotten it to work that well. It seems to be very weird for me. I can't find a good link to download it or whatnot, but Attic Radar has just been way easier. whenever I need another radar to pull up. Who's texting me? Oh. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Technically in hurricane season, according to the National Hurricane Center. So, happy June, I guess. But then the National Weather Service doesn't consider it a new day till freaking 6 a.m. It's different all over the... We had a tornado in Iowa? When did this happen? Oh, land spout in Iowa, I guess. It's June in my eyes. In my eyes, it's June weather-wise. Now, in my personal life, it's not June until midnight. But weather-wise, it's June. And then according to the National Weather Service, 00Z, which we have now passed, is a new day, but their reports are valid till 6 a.m. the next day. And then they're set in Central Time, which means it's technically 1 a.m. Eastern is a new day for them at midnight. I hate time zones so much. Why can't we just have one time? Like, why can't everything just be off of Zulu? Or everything off of UTC? Something like that. But, oh well. Welcome, Isabel. We're not going to do that long of a live stream today. Honestly, I was really just wanting to be here for 00Z, and that's it. So, yep. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, share the stream channel with your family, friends, social media, and subscribe if you are new with the notification bell set to all. This is just one of our shorter live streams. I really didn't plan on streaming long today at all. Tomorrow, I plan on doing probably nearly the same ordeal, an hour, maybe 2. We might do a 2-hour live stream tomorrow, depending on, 1, the severe weather, and 2, the 00Z HRRR model run. So it depends on when I go live. If I go live for the severe weather, it's going to be, regardless, an hour or 2. It's going to be 1 or 2 hours tomorrow. How long did it take for you to feel comfortable predicting weather with confidence? At least 3 years. I really didn't feel confident in my predictions until really like early 2024, late 2023 is when I started realizing that, I was actually pretty good at it. And then with things I said, it was actually occurring. And I was like, holy moly, I'm getting pretty good at this. So once I realized that I was getting good at it, I started getting more confident in predicting. Then there's always the nice, good old-fashioned punch to the face that says, haha, nope, you're dead wrong today. But on this channel, I mean, we've predicted things weeks out in advance, which it's always a gamble. When you're looking weeks out, beyond like 180 hours out, it's really just more of luck as opposed to complete skill. But I mean, you can always like recognize a pattern. That's what I really look for is patterns. So if you look beyond 180 hours out, I look for the patterns, which in this case, here I am looking, let's just go all the way out to, I don't know, 200 hours out. And obviously the number one thing I see here is a good old high pressure out here. So right off the bat, way hotter to the west, way hotter over here. Low pressure out in this area means cooler weather, stormier weather. So therefore your pattern's probably going to be warm, messy, muggy weather over here. And then cold, muggy weather over here. With probably some severe potential. Wishful thinking. What in the world? Did Carter just got like a quadruple boat over here? Did he even react to that? He didn't even react to it. He got like 5 lightning strikes with 3 main chains. And he just continues. Was that the address? You're welcome. Glad to have you in here. I really need to, once we get to winter, I'm going to be able to get out more tutorials. April and May have just been so ridiculously active. I haven't been able to get out any tutorials. So typically in winter, I do tutorials. But I really want to get a tutorial out for, honestly, I should have did it at the beginning of the season for College Do page and these websites I use for model runs. Because now we're moving into tropical season, so I guess I should go grab my college textbook and refresh myself on what the heck's happening with the tropics and how to track those big old hurricanes that spin out there, those, you know, things that spin in the ocean and fly fish everywhere. I wonder if they actually do. I've never thought about that. But anyways, before I go on a rant about flying fish, we're going to go ahead and conclude the stream. Like I said, just a short stream today. No point in staying live longer than I have to here. What the heck? Is this yesterday all over again? We've got another destructive severe out here in east central Colorado. We had that yesterday. The gray dots that you see in the background, correct. They are radar sites. Red ones mean they are down. Gray ones mean they're up. Purple ones typically mean they're smaller terminal radars that most of the time are down. Blue ones, I guess, are very short radar sites, maybe airport radars. And then the orange ones, like the one west of New Orleans, is a solid terminal radar site that you can really use. But yeah, bit of a flash warning in the background as I load up a loop here. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream at some point. I don't know when I'm going live, so just make sure you're staying tuned to the channel. And yeah, thank you, mods, for modding the chat. Thank you guys for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. So yeah, have a great rest of your night. And that is going to be about it. Stay safe. Watch severe weather. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch severe weather, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Have a great rest of your night. Good.